you're not drafting correctly in best ball. More importantly, you're not chasing the right stacks. So I'm here to explain stacking to you and give you 5 of the best stacks to chase in best ball right here on the Fast Draft channel. So if you're a best ball vet, go ahead and skip on the timestamp to the first stack. But if you don't know what stacking is and why you should do it, give me just a couple of minutes and I'll give you the correct information to dominate your best ball drafts. The reason why you should stack in fantasy is quite simple. If you think Lamar Jackson is going to score a lot of points either through the air or through the ground, why wouldn't you want his weapons as well? It's what gives you plus EV or plus estimated or expected value. Example, if Joe Burrow is going to throw a touchdown, he's more likely going to be throwing those touchdowns to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That means, let's just say, only for the points of the touchdown, you have a 4-point play from your quarterback now gets turned into an entire 6-point play because both the receiver and the quarterback are giving you those points. This increases your odds of scoring the maximum points within 1 week. And if you guys want an entire video just on the basics of drafting in best ball and what you should do it, stick around, hit the like and subscribe button because I have an entire series coming up just on this topic. But we'll jump into the actual stacks and I'll explain some of the nuances as I go. Starting with the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, I'm bringing it back to the example I gave earlier, but more importantly, I'm showing you why specifically I'm choosing the Ravens. If you're playing super flex or just your typical 1 QB league, or even in our flex 4 draft that is just flex only, meaning quarterback, tight end, and wide receiver, you could consolidate all the touchdowns on one high scoring offense. More importantly, where some of these assets are going on draft boards make it easier for you to chase these stacks. Many of you used to look at Mark Andrews as his #1 wide receiver or his #1 target. Now let's look to Zay Flowers, who's ranked 45 in average draft position in our flex 4 drafts. You can easily target someone, let's say like Lamar Jackson early if you're doing a 1 QB league, or if you're in our drafts, you can get Zay Flowers at 45, which is relatively cheap. But here's the kicker. You can get both Derrick Henry earlier in the flex 4 draft, or you could get someone like Rashod Bateman even later if you're going to do 1 QB, meaning that yes, you're going to have all that rushing upside for Lamar Jackson, but in a format like best ball where your lineup is being set solely on who's scoring the most points, you optimize your team to always get Lamar Jackson's touchdown, or let's at least say get 50% of them. Chasing the Ravens gives you A, either a high upside quarterback, or B, Derrick Henry and every receiving touchdown for the Ravens, giving your team most of the touchdowns of one of the best offenses in the NFL. This is how you do smart drafting and drafting with intention to give your team the most opportunity to score the most points. Next, we'll go on to another easy stack, the Los Angeles Rams. This is the opposite side of the same coin, where you had a high-end quarterback, let's say like Lamar Jackson. Now you can target receivers early and then get a running back either slightly later or your quarterback depending on the format. You're getting Puka Nacua somewhere around the middle, sometimes even the turn in redraft and best ball. For us, he's ranked 7. Then Davante Adams, a player who I've talked about a lot, is going around 42. This means you have a wide range on the draft board to guarantee that you can get targets, whether you can wait for him to fall a little bit or maybe reach a round or 2 earlier, and you're getting a player that is going a lot cheaper in ADP, let's say that the production upside may suggest. Matt Stafford is one of the last starting QBs within a good offense that's going in most 1 QB leagues. So when you think about all the passing attempts, and specifically a team like, let's say the Bengals, you can get 2 cheaper options of the same upside. That's Puka Nacua in comparison to Jamar Chase, and then Davante Adams to T. Higgins. The Rams are a team who will throw early, often, and as much as the defense will allow. And again, when you think about even securing a running back, if you miss out on Davante Adams, or if you want to chase another high upside wide receiver, you can get Kyren Williams along with Puka Nacua and still have a 3-player stack of a wide receiver, quarterback, and high-end running back. This is how you draft smarter than all your league mates. You understand the ADP on the board, you know your targets, you know how far you need to plan, and you can pick and choose where you're going to pivot based on your draft position. So let's say you're picking early in Superflex. You can target Lamar Jackson, let's say if you're in their first or second pick. If not, you're going to plan your stacks elsewhere. If you're in 1 QB and you want Puka Nacua, you could plan everything else later. But if you're going to go after an asset like Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow is going way too early for you to guarantee that you're going to get that stack. So you're going to get what's called in Bestball a naked player, meaning you're going to get just Jamar Chase, and then you need to plan your stacks later. And which stack you should chase if you get someone like Jamar Chase, no pun intended. This is a good segue for my next point and my next team, the New York Jets. Breece Hall's ranked 25 and Garrett Wilson's ranked 29. So even at Flex 4, you can get 2 high upside players in an offense I think is ascending for a lot cheaper. Now in Flex 4, stacking doesn't quite have as many benefits as, let's say, in a full best ball tournament, unless again you want to consolidate all the touchdowns within a high volume offense. But in your standard 1 QB, you can cash in on a discount on 3 players with high upside in Justin Fields, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson. So if you start out with your draft with someone like Jamar Chase, you can guarantee, let's say, almost a full stack of a team, and a team that should concentrate most of its touchdowns, and then plan another stack later. A lot of coach speak and a disappointing season on a disappointing Jets roster has suppressed Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson's value. But keep in mind, Garrett Wilson continues to dominate in targets, as well does Breece Hall. I will say, why I want to pair Breece Hall with Justin Fields is that there is the fear that Justin Fields could poach some of those touchdowns. This is the joy in stacking. You don't have to worry about that, especially in best ball, if you have the quarterback and the running back that can get you that touchdown upside. This is much harder to do it with another team with a similar situation like the Philadelphia Eagles, where you're going to be taking Jalen Hurts within your first 5 picks of Superflex and then Saquon Barkley sooner or later. I will say in 1 QB, this is 100% how you should do it. Go get Saquon Barkley, then if you want a high upside QB, you have Jalen Hurts later. That gives you guaranteed points in a high scoring offense. This is the same bet that we're making for the Jets at a much cheaper discount in all formats. And if you like content like this, again, hit the like and subscribe button. Have a full series on smart drafting in full strategy. And it's not just who you should buy and who you should sell. More importantly, if you want in on more best ball tournaments, specifically fast draft, you'll want to keep up on that. And you can use my code JAG that's on the screen or in the description. And if you have any fantasy questions, dynasty, best ball, redraft, leave those in the comments. Most of the time, I'm pretty quick to get back to you. Next, we'll move to one of my last stacks, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are one of my favorite sleeper teams, all the way to both of their wide receivers and Trevor Lawrence. Right now, you can get Brian Thomas Jr. at the top of the second round or at the turn, depending on what format that you're in. Travis Hunter's even sometimes going undrafted in our Flex 4 tournament. Now, keep in mind, you're only drafting 6 and you're only filling flex positions. That still shows you the value of an underrated player, meaning you get someone who's already had a top 12 season and has the upside to finish as a wide receiver 1, as well as another wide receiver in the exact same offense as we've seen produce a lot of points as a Buccaneers. Trevor Lawrence is currently going as a QB2, so depending on how you're building your team, you could secure points in an upcoming offense and then secure a secondary stack, or if you have a naked player like Jamar Chase, or even let's say Puka Nacua later. Let's say you don't want to consolidate all your wide receivers to the Jaguars offense. You can still get Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter, and both of their running backs are going later. Bashal Tutin, Travis Etienne, or Tank Bigsby. Now, Bashal Tutin's the one you want. I don't think Tank Bigsby's going to be a Jaguar, and right now Tank Bigsby's so cheap, he's basically a free roll and a dart throw that I'm willing to make depending on your discount. In the format that you're in, Britton Strange is incredibly attractive and someone who I think is underrated within this offense. I'm targeting the Jaguars whenever I can because, again, these are high upside players with proven pieces that I can get much cheaper and secure my stacks and my plus estimated value. Lastly, I'll finish with the Raiders. The Raiders are one of the most versatile teams that you could build stacks in multiple ways. Now, I don't quite recommend tight ends in the Flex 4 tournament, but in any form of best ball or any format in general, you want a player like Brock Bowers. More importantly, in some formats, it's easy to pair both Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty. Now, the Raiders haven't been attractive, but if you love both of those players at cost, we basically already seen Brock Bowers put up a wide receiver 1 season at the tight end position. This is a smart way where you can get positional upside in multiple places. But let's say if you just want the pass catchers, it's even easier. You can get Brock Bowers early and then an underrated player like Jakobi Meyers, ranked 77 right now in Flex 4. Jakobi Meyers has been a productive PPR machine in some of the worst environments, including the tail end of the Patriots and everything that we've seen on the Raiders. Now he fits in with both Jack Bech and Brock Bowers, and they're all interchangeable and a flexible Chip Kelly offense. This allows you to get 2 of their top pass catchers, and let's say Jack Bech if you want to, and Geno Smith, who's been productive with Pete Carroll. And now Pete Carroll has one of his best offensive coordinators that he's ever been paired with in his career. These are incredibly gettable stacks, and I'm targeting at all times. That'll do it. That was 5 stacks. And again, if you want more content like this, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm Jagger May. I'll be back with more videos coming to you later. Love you guys. See you in the next one.
So I thought I needed.